Alright, magandang araw po sa lahat. Good day, everyone. It's June 11th, 2026 naman ba? 11 ba? 11, alright. Okay, welcome back to Smart Hustle PH. My name is Brian, and today we need to have a very honest, practical, and incredibly necessary conversation about the trap of comfort with our jobs. Alright, sino sa atin recently ang siguro medyo nahihirapan sa paghanap ng, I don't know, maybe a job, maybe starting up a business. Kasi nga, I mean, we're talking about mainly about career or job. No? You're stable. Sabi nga ng iba, merong mo stable job talaga. No? Your stable full-time job is a myth. Or rather, you're lying to yourself, or you're trying to make yourself believe that, you know, maybe 40 hours a week, depende ilang oras ka nagtatrabaho, in a week or so, or in a month. All right, your 40 hours a week on a spreadsheet, equals absolute job security. Walang ganun kahassle, ano po. All right? So, yung akala mo safe ka na. Ayan. Sino nasa ganyang sitwasyon dyan ngayon? Alright. So if you've recently, kumbaga, logged into work only to be hit with something like, hey, we need to scale your hours down from 40 hours per week to 10 a week, tulad na nangyari sa akin recently. Alright, this is something, I just want to share out there para sa mga baka merong makapag-relate po dyan. Ano po? So from 40 hours a week, it was scaled down or reduced to 10 hours a week. And eventually the week next or the week after that, I was, footballed. Parang natanggal na sa work. All right. So maybe, it followed with kumbaga a dreaded quick email or a goodbye email or a quick call ng operations manager. Pero parang kumbaga having been in this business for quite some time, or working from home for 14 years, alam ko na yung mga ganyang galawan. I know exactly how that scenario plays out, and it just happened to me. All right, after 9 months, kumbaga, with this most recent client I've had, of pouring strategy, SEO, ganyan, and content, social media, website optimization and whatnot, content, blog post writing, lahat na po. Into as a digital marketing professional and content strategist, and then boom. Ayan, biglang pinatay yung gripo. The faucet just turned off out of nowhere. Now, if you've been in, like I said, if you've been in this industry long enough, this is just a part of the territory. Sa mga nagwo-work from home po dyan, kahit ba naman sa kahit anong industry, kahit sa corporate ba naman, ang dami kong kakilala who's been in a big company, alcohol company, semicon company, paggawaan ng relo, natatanggal din. Alright? Computer manufacturing company, yan. Malalaki, hindi ko na sasabihin yung mga pangalan ng mga kumpanya. Natatanggal, nare-retrench, may ganun, no? So, kumbaga, in this territory, it comes with the territory, You get used to the fluctuations. No, but if you are newer to this space and you're sitting there right now staring at your computer screen in a panic, teka muna, all right? So stop sulking, stop spiraling, You just take a deep breath. Just recently, I have one friend kumbaga, who decided to move forward, kumbaga, na magre-resign sa trabaho for some reasons, okay? And natanong sa akin, bro, hindi ka ba natatakot? Wala bang takot? Hindi ka ba kinakabahan? I'd say, syempre meron naman. I mean, to some degree, meron. Sino ba namang hindi yung talagang sobrang matigas ka na, matigas ang mukha, na hindi ka matatablan ng konting takot, mayroong pangangamba, ganyan. Pero, if you're a believer of Christ, if you know what you stand for, iba-iba yung levels ng faith po natin, but if you have faith in God na siyang nakakapagbigay ng lahat-lahat na meron tayo, so iba din naman yung effect merong blessing po doon, So again, sabi ko nga, take a deep breath. Let's look at the cold hard mechanics of why this happens and exactly how we play the next move. No, dalawang bagay na dito, we want to debunk the myth, kumbaga, of, stability sa kahit anong trabaho. Sabi ng iba, yung pinaka-stable job daw is teacher, public school teacher. I don't know. Para sa akin, wala talagang stability. Sa lahat ng mga nangyayari ngayon sa politics natin, sa ekonomiya natin. Recently, merong lindol, no? Let's continue to pray for people, no, who've been affected by these catastrophes or these disasters, no. But going back now, let's tear down the comfortable lie first. The biggest myth in the freelancing and VA world, to be more specific, kasi nandyan yan yung industry ko, is that when you do, and even if you do a good job, all right, you are indispensable. Again, ulitin ko lang, iba-iba yung angulo na tinitingnan natin dito. I'm not a guru, I'm not a motivator or anything of that sort. Hindi po. I'm looking at the different angles kasi hindi naman sa lahat ng bagay talaga yung sinasabi na it's not me, it's them, or the other way around. Minsan talaga meron tayong mga pagkakamali, nandiyan, galing na din po tayo dyan sa trabaho. At syempre, for some reason, hindi ganun siya the business is business as they say it. Hindi nila kaya or hindi pwedeng, okay, sige, patatawarin ka namin because of something that you did wrong or a mishap na kahit naman hindi sinasadya, pero negosyo is negosyo eh. Pag nagkakamali, we cannot afford any further mistakes. We have to let you go. Merong mga ganyan. Okay, but I'm talking in a different standpoint dito po, no? So, yun nga, sabi nga, even if you're doing a good job, it's a myth. Huwag mong isipin that you are indispensable. No, yung akala natin kapag bibo tayo sa trabaho, hindi tayo pwedeng tanggalin. Now, we've been conditioned to think of clients like traditional employers for our parents' generation. No? So you show up, you deliver the deliverables, you get your gold star, and you're safe. But here is the brutal truth of the digital economy. All right, businesses do not owe you a permanent spot on their ledger. Ano po? Okay, hindi ka nila kamag-anak kahit ba naman kamag-anak eh. Dami mga usaping mga ganyan, kahit yung mga tycoons, family na mga, business tycoons, sila mismo nag-aaway-aaway din. No? Nagkakasuhan, di ba? Ayan. So, when a client slashes your hours from, let's say, 40 to 10, it's a rarely a random act of cruelty. All right? Usually, it comes down to, para sa akin, dalawang bagay lang yun. Two hard variables. It's called throughput and runway. Again, it's throughput and runway. So think of a business like a commercial airline. As a content strategist, in my case, or a specialized VA, for example, if you are if this is your role, you are a part of the engine pushing it forward. No, ikaw yung isa sa mga, fuel. You're part of the engine or any part, that you're functional within an organization or a company. But if the plane hits a turbulence, kumbaga, maybe their sales funnels are not converting for a number of reasons. Maybe baka isang investor dyan is, yung funding medyo drying up na, no? Or the CEO looked at the bank account and, na-realize niya they only have 3 months, of operational runway na natitira, and they have to dump fuel to survive. Okay? So, kailangan magbawas ng bagahe, kumbaga. And so, to keep the company alive, they have to instantly cut expenses. Nakuha po ba natin? And unfortunately, the easiest expense to slash on a balance sheet is contract hours. Lalo na kapag independent contractor ka. Sa mga nakakaintindi po dyan, sa mga nasa VA world tulad ko, no? So, you are not being let go because of, because your graphics were bad or your emails had typos, But of course, given that you are always making sure naman that you're on top of your game when at work, or at least you try your best to be on top of your game. Now, you are being let go because the math stopped working for them. Okay? So nag-iba ang numero kaya ligwak ka. All right? And sometimes naman it's a bitter pill to swallow, but as strategists, kumbaga, we build systems that are too efficient. Meron pong ganyan, no? Masyado nating pinagbubutihan to the point na hindi ka na, pag naset mo na yung strategy or yung system in place, baka hindi ka na kailangan nila. Ayan. Kaya meron akong rule dyan. Meron akong sariling prinsipyo ko lang po to, no? Or like I said, maybe you build automated funnels or you optimize websites or you map out 6 months worth of content. Tulad ng nagagawa ko, I can map out like a whole month of content 2 or 3 months ahead, no? For social media. Okay? So you streamline your client's business operations and suddenly they look at the machine you built and think, hey, we can run this on 10 hours a week now. Bakit pa natin kailangan bayaran siya ng 40 hours? Pwede naman palang 10 hours lang. Okay? Pero hindi nila nakikita yung the time and effort you put in to build that system or to ideate that, or even hindi lang sa output mo kundi yung input. Paano yung input? Kasi it's counted. Yung creativity ng isang tao, hindi yan magic lang or what not, no? Kailangan ng input, kailangan ng brainstorming, kasama din po yun. Yun ang hindi mga naiintindihan ng mga maraming kliyente. Akala nila yung pag sinabing video editor, one push of a button, ayan na yung video, yung reel na gusto nilang na ini-expect nila sa'yo. Pero hindi nila kino-consider yung oras, yung pag-iisip, yung conceptualization ng content na yun, in bringing that to fruition. All right. But like I said, if you build a flawless system that automates their content delivery and front loads their campaigns months in advance, yung throughput mo, kanina runway po nung pinag-usapan natin, ngayon naman throughput mo is incredibly high. Medyo effective kasi or efficient ka rin. But once that system is built and running smoothly, the client looks at it and realizes they no longer need a 40-hour-a-week builder. They just need a 10-hour-a-week janitor to maintain it. Okay? Gusto lang nila na tagapunas na ng dumi, tagalinis na lang. No? Hindi na yung talagang gumagawa ng nagbi-build for them. So it's the ultimate paradox of the smart hustle. Your efficiency can sometimes optimize you right out of the job. Yan. So shout out dyan, Michael Tabiera, and bro Sai, hello dyan. All right, am I making sense? Again, when letting go from a job, it usually comes down to two cold, hard variables. Ulitin po natin yung runway, okay, and yung throughput. Okay, runway, this is a business financial survival clock. No, it's the exact number of months a company can stay alive before its bank account goes zero. All right, yung natitirang hinihinga ng kumpanya. So when a client sees their runway is shrinking, they don't look at how nice you are. Okay? They look at the budget. Realistic po tayo. This is business only. It's nothing personal. It's just business. Okay? So they slash hours to buy themselves time. Ayan po. So then there's throughput. The speed of at which work gets done. Okay, and this is the paradox for elite strategists. So if your throughput is high, you build systems so efficiently that the business essentially runs itself. And so you optimize yourself right out of the 40-hour bracket because the heavy lifting is already finished. Ganun yung nangyari sa akin. So at the first few months, medyo syempre merong learning curve, merong adjustment period. Ano bang gusto ni client? Merong ganyan. So out of that, after a few months, medyo nagkakaintindihan na, meron I built a system in place, nagigets ko na kung ano yung gusto nila, ganito, ganyan. And then I was able to deliver work, of what I could have delivered within 8 hours. Kaya ko na siyang i-deliver ng 2 hours. Ayan. So meron kasi akong system na nagagawa. Yung mga clients kasi tinitignan nila yung gusto nila. Kung ano yung ilang oras yung binabayaran nila sa'yo, okay, yun yung dapat naka doon sa computer mo or sa ginagawa mo. Ayan. Watching from South Sudan. Hello, Brother Jonar. Hello, Jonar. Alicia. Watching from Laguna. Tama ba, bro? Okay. Laguna. Okay. But he's originally from Bicol. Ayan. Boardmate ko yan dati nung 2005. Tama ba? 2005 ba, bro? No? Sa Laguna, Santa Rosa. Ayan. Anyway, okay, so para sa akin, I'm more of being a creative, no, being a digital marketing professional and content strategist myself. I'd rather be paid. Kumbaga para sa akin is yung output by the output, not by the hours spent. Okay, if given naman kung meron tayong hours spent, I mean, yeah, of course, I still put in the time. Pero yung bultuhan kasi, iba yung throughout the years kasi meron na tayong karunungan, kumbaga alam na natin yung mga kaya nating gawin, makakapag-adjust tayo, work in different environments. But anyway, yep, having that said, kumbaga tapos na ang trabaho, kaya kumbaga salamat na sa lahat. Okay, so yeah, tulad na nangyari sa akin, share ko lang din sa inyo just recently. Nakakatuwa lang kasi I was let go. But then nasa email thread pa ako. Nasa chat group pa ako nila ng previous company I was working with. And then nakita ko na halos quadruple yung intake ng mga clients or participants na kailangan nila sa business nila, kasi kakatapos ko lang noon ng webpage nila. Na optimize ko lahat, nagawan ko ng content and all, and then ayan, they had to let me go. So para sa akin, that's why isa sa mga reason na hindi ko talaga pag tinatanong ako ng isang prospect client, how do you do it, what do you exactly do, hindi ko binibigay. I just give them an overview of what I think would be possible for a certain campaign to run, from ideation to execution, but I don't give my full thought process. Kasi pag binigay ko na lang, edi alam na nila. Sila na lang gagawa. Ba't pa nila ako kukunin? Okay, what's the point? Kaya sinasabi ko sa sarili ko, even before, something I learned, during for these years, wag mong ibigay lahat, kahit ba naman sa pag-ibig. May ganun na sa mga dyan. Kidding aside, anyway, so like I said, now if you're playing the finite game, this is where you either just let go, move forward. Maybe you need to quit, and look for, greener pasture. Maybe even start up your a business, So, yung iba, lalo na pag kakasimula pa lang, syempre, medyo mahirap, hindi nasasaktan, which is okay lang, normal lang po yan, okay? Pero iba siguro to the point sasabihin niya, maybe this freelancing is not for me, working from home may not be for me, I need to go back sa office, or parang ganyan, no? This is a scam, may ganyan, no? Walang loyalty ang mga foreign clients. No, babalik na lang ako sa corporate 9 to 5, no? Parang you treat client termination like a definitive game over screen. Hindi po ganun. We don't play the finite game here. No, in the infinite game, there is no final destination where you secure the perfect client and just coast forever. Now, walang ganung ending ka-hassle, no? There's no trophy for hitting a 12-month retainer milestone. So, client acquisition, client retention, and client loss are just regular recurring waves in the ocean of virtual assistance, entrepreneurship even, or any career or business for that matter. So, ang pinagkaiba lang sa negosyo, no? Like, losing a client, I don't know, iba-ibang standpoint natin. Pag sinabi, maraming clients, maraming customer, ayan. Pag ayaw nila, okay lang. Meron pa namang iba. Dapat ganun din yung mindset natin. Kung ayaw nung ganito, ayaw nung client, okay, hanap lang ng iba. Okay. Okay, but hindi natin kailangang isipin na failure siya on our partner. It's a failure of your career. It's just a shift in the environment. Maybe it's a routine market adjustment. Pwedeng ganun. So, bagyo lang yan. Dumadaan din yan. Dadaan at lilipas din. Yeah. Naalala ko tuloy si Diwata, no? Parang dati, hindi ko lang alam ngayon, kasi pag may magpapapicture sa kanya, magpapagrito, birthday ko ngayon, sabi, kuya, lilipas din yan. Parang ganyan. Pero anyway, nakatuwaan lang naman. Pero, kumbaga, sabi ko nga, when my hours were cut down to 10 and the contract eventually ended, kumbaga, did it sting? Of course! To some degree, tao lang din naman ako. I'm human. After all, no, hindi naman ako robot, no. So, but the infinite game mindset forces you to look at the assets you kept Kumbaga, they took away the 40-hour paycheck, yes. Nawala ang monthly na sahod, kumbaga, but they could not take away the 9 months of data I analyzed. I spent, analyzing and creating systems and executed it to, success. All right. They could not take away the deep tactical knowledge of what works and what does not work in content strategy for what specific client niche or for that specific niche. Right? Yun ang totoong yaman mo. Yaman natin, ano po. So your skills are, para sa akin, para siyang daily subscription fee that you pay to yourself. Okay? So as long as you keep practicing, learning and refining your craft, your value proposition does not drop to zero just because one contract did. Okay? Hindi, you're not defined by sabi nga, you're not defined by what you achieve. Kung alam mo kung sino, kung kilala mo yung sarili mo, no? Kung alam mo kung sino ka, whatever, yun na yun. You are not your contract. You are the accumulation of your expertise. Okay, so yung weekly challenge natin, patapos na tayo, no? So what do we do next? We don't mope, we don't sulk, we don't, wag tayong let's move up. Sabi pa nga pag nasa rock bottom ka, sa mga nakikinig ngayon, if you think you're at, nasa rock bottom ka, the only way for you is up. Kasi nasa baba ka na nga Saan ka pa nga ba? Yung direction pupuntahan mo, edi sa taas. No? So bawal ang iyak-iyakin dito. No? We adjust our sails. Ayan. Medyo mahirap na talaga. Medyo ilihis lang natin yung sail natin. Huwag natin masyadong laban. Medyo masakit sa damdamin natin. Magalit. Yung ganun. No? So yung weekly challenge natin ngayon, and it's going to require you to look in the mirror and be completely honest with yourself. Alright? Huwag mong dayain ang sarili mo. Now, I want you to open maybe your resume. Alright? I'm talking to the contractors or to people, or maybe you are seeking for another, new career or a new prospect, new client, So open up your resume. Open your, update your portfolio or maybe your LinkedIn profile today. And act as if you are a high-paying client, looking to hire someone to solve a massive problem. Parang baliktad pero ganun na mindset. That's what I'm trying to, frame my mind as well. So look at your profile and ask yourself, am I positioning myself as an admin luxury that can be cut down or during bad weather? Or am I positioning myself as a revenue generating asset that they cannot afford to lose? Meron ganyan, okay? But then again, just because your client let go of you does not necessarily mean na ikaw or your works are not valued. Okay? Nakakatuwa lang yun kasi sa previous client ko to, valued yung work ko. Yun nga lang, business-wise, hindi na siya swak. Okay, it can be nothing personal really. It's just business. Trabaho lang, walang personalan. So if you look like a luxury, it's time to rebuild your messaging this week. Turn your past 8 to 9 months or maybe a year or a few years of work into a case study. Document your metrics. Show exactly how you did when you may have done to get, and keep the money coming in for your client, and use that blueprint to pitch the next 3 clients. So, just to give you a little bit of an overview, wala akong alam sa coding sa website, pero marunong ako mag-build. Ngayon, through the years, alam ko na paano through different platforms. Medyo mabigat lang sa akin yung WordPress, but I've been there as well. So, I use platforms like Duda, ngayon Webflow, ang ganyan. Nasubukan ko na din yung Squarespace tsaka Wix, ganyan. So, anyway, nagigets po natin So yan ang yan ang ganti ng totoong may diskarte, no? All right. So once again, this is Brian. Don't forget to follow Smart Hustle PH on all our socials. I have my YouTube channel, kahit dito sa Facebook. Hindi ako nakapag-live sa TikTok ngayon. Wala, diretso na to. Dito na sa Facebook. All right, so leave a comment below if you've ever had your, hours cut down, out of nowhere, or maybe you've been kicked out of your job, or maybe you've been laid off sometime in the past or even recently. Let's talk in the comments, And ultimately, remember this: Deuteronomy 8:18. The Bible says, "You shall remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you power to get wealth, that he may confirm his covenant that he swore to your fathers, as it is this day. Once again, this is Brian, and remember that market is moving and you need to move with it. And I'll see you in the next one.
Give you the wrong impression. I need love and affection, and I hope I'm not sounding too desperate. I need love.
Shout out to Andre Ramos from Bago City and Jigs. Hello, Jigs, bro. Shout out all the way from the US. Kumusta?
And I hope I'm not sounding too desperate.